Alright, I know I already did an update this week, but the update kind of triggered a friend in Minnesota, Keith, who also has spina bifida like me, asking things like, where did you get the oversized chuck? Because this could be very helpful for people who have spina bifida as well. And so I got to thinking that I'm going to do another video about how to do the Jenny 2.75 enema in bed. So if this is not a topic you want to know about, please move on. Why would you want to know about this topic? Well, you might be on hospice and you might be going down the same trail I'm going down. Or you're not on hospice and you have some other disability or whatever that makes it hard to go to the bathroom, and you might want to know how to do this process. Or you might be the caregiver of someone and you're at your wit's end of how to get them to go. So you might want to know this process as well. Now when I call it Jenny 2.75, this is where I actually still am able to move around with my shoulders and everything, and do most of it myself. Jenny 3.0 would be the exact same process, except you have a caregiver give you the enema. So this can be done with a caregiver, or it can be done without if the patient has some mobility to do some of this on itself. So what I did is this morning, it was our first trial this morning, and it went really, really well. And I was not out of breath like I have been trying to do it myself in the bathroom. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go over what you would need, and then I'm going to go over how you set it up. Because I took photo shots of us setting up each stage, but then I thought you might want to know where to get the supplies and what supplies you would need first. Okay, so if you don't want to know about this, move it aside. Bye, it was nice to see you. But if you do want to know it, here we go. Alright, so the first thing that you would need is a waterproof, I guess what they call them instead of big waterproof chucks, they call them waterproof washable mattress pads. And by the way, I got everything on Amazon. I did that because I didn't know how much hospice will cover. So I will tell you which items hospice will cover and which ones hospice won't. And then at the end, I'll give you a grand total of what you can expect to pay if you're on hospice and what you can expect to pay when you're not, and why. Okay? Yeah, I'm having a little hard time breathing, so you're gonna hear me wheezing. You probably hear the psh in the background. That's my oxygen tank. Alright, so the very first thing you need is the waterproof washable mattress pad, oversized. You want to say oversized or extra large. And a bunch of them will pop up. I found out that it costs about $150. Why did I say 150? Because mine was only $39 actually. $39 for two. Depending how often you have to give the enema, you could get away with or just whatever. Maybe you don't need it for an enema, maybe you need it for just overnight comfort. Maybe I put 150 because I bought multiple of them. Because you don't want to just buy one or two and then have to keep washing them and washing them and washing them. So they're $39 for 2 generally. There's also one that might be closer to $100. So there's various ones that you can look at. I did find on Amazon there were only 2 that were a darker color, so that you don't have stains. Okay, so maybe that's why I got 150. The next thing is, and that big washable mattress pad will not be covered by hospice. The next thing you need is what are called chucks. And chucks go on top of the large waterproof mattress pad. It's smart to have some on the floor too. Those are disposable. Those cost about $15. I don't remember how many you get in there, but if you're on hospice, that's just a common supply that they will provide for you. Then on top you have your waterproof washable mattress pad. You have your chucks, which even if you're not doing an enema, sorry, I've got hiccups too. Even if you're not doing an enema, still might be nice to have, because you could throw away the disposable chucks in the morning and still have clean space under you, so you may or may not need to wash that chuck every day. Let's see. Okay, so chucks, $15. Good news, hospice will cover it. The third thing that you need is a large diaper. Now I'm 117 pounds and I still get the large diaper. It almost wraps completely around me. But that's what you want. And whether you get the big fancy ones that I like, which are called Air Plus for $85.99, but you get 4 packages of them, and I think there's like 8 of them, so you get 60 total or something. I don't remember. Well, 4 times 8 is not 60. So I don't teach math. Anyway, the ones that I like are $85.99. There are other ones called like Fit Right that are cheaper. So there are a variety. I would say these are and are not covered by hospice. What I mean is they will give you adult underwear, but they're, at least the ones they give me, are pull-on and they're kind of small. They're not going to absorb all the enema water that you want. So that's why I highly suggest buying your own large diapers if you're doing the enema, because it will, okay, I don't even have the size bottle that it will absorb, but it would absorb at least 2 of these, and almost none of it gets on the disposable chucks. I'm just saying, that's a lot of water. Alright, it might be a little wheezy because I just went up to go to the bathroom. But I realized I forgot to talk water. I like to use Essentia number 1. So remember I was talking about earlier how an adult diaper can hold, at least 2 of these. Well, now I have the right bottle. And, sorry, my hold-up system is not really holding up here. This is what I like to use. Number one, it is pH balanced. So it actually feels really good going into your body. And it's almost the perfect match in size for when you do the enema, at least for me. Now granted, I've been doing it for 19 years, so this might be a little too much for some people. But remember, when you put it into the enema, you also have to, there is a, now I'm going to have to get up, grab one, and show you really quickly. Alright, so here's a combination of the water and the enema kit. That's what my kits look like. You'll see there's like a dotted line. Don't worry, I'll use this one again tomorrow. Peel that off. And there's a couple compartments in here. What just dropped is the soap. I don't use the soap myself, but that's an option. Why they have soap in there? Slip sliding away, I guess. I don't know. But it can be irritant, so lose it or use it. Then they do have like a super mini chuck in here. You could use that if you want to, but because I have my own chucks, I don't. You could figure out maybe some other use for it. You know? Probably at dinner time, I don't know. I don't really use it. So I'm gonna fold it back up just so it's in the kit tomorrow and whatever. Okay. Couple things you have to actually know about the enema. So this is the most important part, and I almost was gonna forget it. Number one, you're gonna see at the end, there's a cap. Leave that on until you're ready to do the enema. And there's this like slip slidey thing on the end of it. You wanna make sure you take your thumb, it's a clip. Make sure that clip is on before you dump the water. The next thing is the actual enema bag. And what you also want to know about the enema bag, and I'm not going to dump the water into it right now because I'm going to use it tomorrow. This is meant to not spill. So you have to make sure your finger and the water can get in. So I always kind of find where it is and I squeeze it like a fishy mouth that's open. And then I make sure I take off the cap. Very gently go like this. And then once the bottle's empty, go like this and you're good to go. Told you, it's not working very well. My little stand-up thingy here. Okay, that's okay. I'll be some surprise in your video. You can also use smaller bottles of water like these and use one or two of them or just one. Maybe play around with the amount that you need. Or they're called tap water enemas because technically you can stick this under the sink and fill it with tap water and that costs nothing. So that was the most important part that I almost forgot. So it's up to you. I like to use more bottled water. I just feel that it feels better in my system. Another important thing is this will be hanging on your IV bag. When you're ready to insert, then take this off. Then unclip it so the water can go through. Listen to your body about how much water it can take or not take. The more you could take, I would say the better. Then whenever you feel your body's had what it can do, you clip that back on. And then release into that diaper. And if you have more water in the enema bag, you can do it again. Unclip. And I would kind of keep doing this until the water bag's empty. And then when the water bag is empty, make sure it's in that locked position. And then if you can, I would technically still put the cap back on when you're done, you pull it out, because it will contain some of the water. And then same as the other stuff, I just take this used one and put it in the garbage bag. So that's why you want to buy your own. The other thing is you want to buy an open face one. You don't want to buy the pull-ups because it's easier for yourself to get on and it's easier for your caregiver to get on, to just scoot you on the diaper, fold it up just like when we were babies, and use that tape. That'll get you as nice and tight as possible. Whoa. This earbud does not want to stay in. Okay. That'll get you as nice and tight as possible so you're not spilling so much everywhere. There's a visual, right? So the large diapers are not covered by hospice, but the pull-up underwear is provided by hospice. I find that the pull-up underwear is okay. I still have some when I was going through incontinence because I had severe constipation and I was leaking a little bit. Those were okay to wear. But when you're doing an enema, no, too small. So you're going to have your waterproof mattress pad, the big one, your disposable chucks, your large diaper. The next thing that you're going to need to have is an IV pole. I did buy this one on my own. I think hospice would cover it, but I'm not sure. But you don't have to have a super fancy one, and you'll see what all of this looks like in a minute. Mine was only $26. Then you're gonna need the enema kits, and hospice will cover the enema kits. I have bought some on my own, and it was something like 50 for 50 or something like that, if you're gonna buy them. Number 6, you need those like large garbage can liners. Okay, with a handle. I like the Glad Flex ones. You'll kind of see what that looks like in the pictures coming up. I hang it on the IV pole on one side, and on the other side you'll see I hang the enema bag. And what's nice is, nice, you know, figuratively speaking, well, not figuratively, literally speaking, is when I'm done with my diaper, I pull it off, roll it up, and just throw it in the trash bag next to me. And then while I'm on my chucks, I roll over, and we'll talk about this thing in a minute, and I use the adult wipes to wipe up as much as possible. Now remember, I'm on the disposable chucks. So then I take those and I just put them in the trash bag next to me. And then what I do is, while I'm on the disposable chucks, I might take a robe. I might take, sorry, this might be a little TMI, but it is what it is. I take toilet paper or Kleenex. Use it as like a little butt plug. Or I pull on my underwear again that has a pad in it, and then I just walk my way to my shower and take my shower. While I'm taking my shower, I do have a caregiver. I open it up and I say it's ready to be cleaned. So while I'm cleaning myself, she's cleaning up and straightening up my area. And that works out really well, because then by the time I'm done with my shower, my bed is made for me, and then I can get dressed on my bed and we're all done. So okay, we talked about the enema kits, the large garbage bags with the handle. Again, I like the Flex Force, and I think they're like $15 for 50 or something like that. They're pretty cheap. I talked about the adult wipes, and when I use those are $37 for like 720. I mean, that's a lot. And then I have gloves for my caregiver. She's picking up, stuff that she could be infectious technically. And they only cost like $10 or something like that. And I don't remember how many you get, but you get quite a bit. You'll probably see the amount when I do the picture. Ask your caregiver what size they would like. Some like medium, some like small. So my caregiver asked for medium, so that's what we got. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put in the photos side by side, and then do kind of a collage of it setting up. And it was just a really pretty sunset tonight, so I might leave you with 2 of those pictures just to say good night.